Hello everyone, it's been a while since my last video, I think about a month ago, but now that the France is out of World Cup, I think it's the right time to upload some more. So I'll start by uploading the games I played in this last World Cup. I was playing GSC in the first round, and this game is gonna be the first one I played against Bomber. Anyway, now I'm uploading everything in one video. So bear with me if there are some problems. So I'll start by the team building, and as you can see, as you might notice, for those of you who play GSC or follow the metagame, this is a very common team. It's been used quite a bit in past SPL and World Cup right now, but I felt confident with it because, well, it's very solid. It's defensive too, so I had a solid backbone going into the game. And what I expected from Bomber was some kind of real team, because he likes to branch out with some unusual stuff. And from what I've seen in the past from him, he seems to struggle a little bit against defensive team. Like sometimes he has trouble outplaying them as much as he could. So yeah. That's what backed up my decision to go with it. So I'll do a little presentation of it. As you can see, there is a defensive core of Raikou, Skarmory, Stormy and Miltank. So basically the goal of this core is to just handle the whole metagame, especially because Raikou and Skarmory together is a very strong defensive backbone in GSC. You have Ilbel support from Miltank to get rid of status, and you have Stormy to have an advantage in the Spikes game. And it's very important in this team because the two sweepers that aim to break everything eventually are Belly Drum Snorlax and Sword Dance Marowak. They pair well together and they really appreciate the lack of spikes, because Marowak doesn't have leftovers and Snorlax has to go through 50% of his life usually to get going. So if you can start from 100 instead of whatever you are because of spikes damage, that's appreciated. So yeah, I'll go through the team real quick. Although it's kind of known, I'll explain my little personalization to it, I guess. So for starters, I went with Sleep Talk Raikou instead of the usual Roar or Reflect variant of this team. I know Reflect has some advantages, especially because it can help Marowak and Snorlax to set up, but I like Sleep Talk Heal because it doesn't press me to use Hellbell with Miltank, and I don't like our Raikou is kind of a sitting duck once it's asleep, and it opens the way to very dangerous Stallbreakers, like Nidoking, I guess. Well, Nidoking isn't too much of an issue, but yeah, like I just don't want to give returns to my opponent, especially if he uses offense or if he gets some good booms going. That's why I decided to wait with Sleep Talk. Also, I cannot be abused by the like of Vaporeon, who would try to set up as I sleep. So yeah. Also, I'm not a big fan of Roar in this team because I don't have spikes anyway, so I don't feel like it's really useful as long as I have another Phaser, which is the case with Skarmory. I know I opened myself a weakness to Thunder Misdreavus, but that's a risk I was willing to take. Second, we have Skarmory, very standard set. I decided to go with Curse because it just helps me against Machamp should Stormy get boomed on by Cloyster or Fortress. It also helps against Marowak, although yeah, it helps a lot against Marowak especially. Also, it helps against last Pokemon Snorlax. Then Stormy with Thunder. I felt like going with Thunder instead of Psychic because of Vaporeon. I feel like the most troublesome Pokemon for this team is Vaporeon because Raikou is the only stop from it. And if a Raikou gets boomed on by like Executor, for example, or Gengar, like Vaporeon kind of 6-0s the team without Thunder and Stormy, and Thunder is the, instead of Steamboat, because Thunder is the 3 KO guaranteed, or like close to it close to it. So that's why I went with it. Also, it can provide some paralysis, which is very useful for Snorlax and Marowak because they are both slow and need it. And on top of it, it has a good chance to one-shot Cloyster. And like a lot of Cloyster like to stay in on Starmie to get the Toxic as you spin, and that's why I like the chance of going. Like that's why I like the standard choice. Then Miltank, once again very standard, provides a checks to allow to some Snorlax variants, Nidoking, Tyranitar, and Ilbel here, very important. Then we have Drumlax. Decided to go with Drum. I know I've seen some people going with Curse in this team, but if like it's pretty much impossible to break anything if Marowak is blocked and you run Cursolax, because Cursolax always has a good check. Well, usually, not always, because some offense struggle against it, but yeah. I felt like offense wouldn't be too much of a problem anyway with my defensive backbone, so I wanted to make sure I could break more defensive teams, and that's why I stuck with Baladrum Snorlax. Also went with Body Slam because you want to paralyze Skarmory, which gives you a chance to break through it with Marowak or Snorlax itself. And then Marowak with Rest on the last slot because I think it's better in this team. You want Marowak is your primary breaker and a very good win condition, and having multiple shots at it thanks to Ilbel is better than running HP Ground or Fire Blast, in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I ended up going with, and now I'll talk about the game itself. Okay, so that was the first game. I don't remember the exact situation at the time. I just know my team was up in wins. Like I don't remember exactly what it was, but we weren't losing, so I felt pretty good going in. Anyway, I lead with Riku and he leads Nidoking. Nidoking kind of annoying because of the threat of Lovely Kiss, but and my Sleep Talker being Raikou, I cannot. It's hard to like take the sleep without fearing an earthquake. And yeah, so I didn't want, like, Miltank is a good counter to Nidoking, but I didn't want to Miltank to take the sleep. It's way too valuable, especially with Ilbel. So I went with Snorlax instead. I felt like the team can afford to go without lags because you don't really need it defensively. Like you can go without it thanks to the core of Raikou's Skarmory Miltank. And even offensively, it's not that needed because you just have Marowak pressure and all the paralysis spread from your other Pokemons. So yeah, that's why I decided to go Snorlax in case he would Lovely Kiss. Also, I can still wake him up later with Ilbel. But he shows Thief. And that's not, once again, not too much of a problem to me. I guess ideally you maybe want to have like just Skarmory bearing Thief, maybe. But I don't really mind it because I'd rather have my defensive backbone keeping the leftovers against offense, so I can, I'm not too pressured. And like I said 2 seconds ago, like Marowak can break by itself anyway, so it's not a big problem if Snorlax loses its leftovers to me. He shows Tyranitar. I decided to go for Body Slam because this team really aimed to spread paralysis and go with and attempt to swim with Marowak later or Snorlax itself. I don't get the paralysis, not a big problem I guess. I fire off an air. Sorry, I'm gonna drink a little bit. I fire off an Earthquake. I don't really mind showing it because it'll probably recognize the team anyway. It's very known, so I don't feel like I get too much of an advantage by showing it. Also, I get to damage Tyranitar, which I'll take. So Ron gets Skarmory in, no business staying in. I go to Miltank because like it's a good counter to Tyranitar. Unless they run Dynamic Punch, but Dynamic Punch Roar is pretty raw. It doubles to Nidoking. And like I said, I don't want to take the sleep with Miltank. And there is a chance that it could be Thief, Lovely Kiss. I've seen this set, I've used it. So yeah, I'm switching out to Snorlax once again. Snorlax is a good mid-ground because it can take the sleep and it can take anything from Nidoking. He shows Fortress. I guess it's not too much of a problem because Starmie does well against it, although I have to be wary of like Toxic plus Tyranitar coming in on Rapid Spin and forcing me out with Pursuit. And yeah, Fortress kind of annoying though, because I don't have spikes, so I don't have much pressure, and like can come in on Snorlax and checks it pretty well. I would have rather faced Cloyster, I think. Anyway, he checked for the fire move and went on Starmie. I directly went and went on Zapdos. Sorry, I directly went Starmie because I don't want the spike staying up against me. And Starmie against Zapdos, I just go to Raikou, my designated counter. I get a HP highs in, just in case like he would go Nidoking, but I also weaken Zapdos, it works. I decide, since I HP highs the turn before, I decide to Thunder this time, because I don't think it will go Nidoking. He goes Snorlax, sadly I miss, but that's the that's expected from Thunder, it doesn't always hit. Although, kind of annoying though, because since my team doesn't have spikes, I like, it needs all the ship it can get to start whittling down the opponent, getting status, forcing them to sleep, and once this is done, like getting some chips and status, I can go in with more rank or Snorlax. Anyway, I go to Skarmory as he curses. Yeah, like since Nidoking used Thief, the Snorlax could very well have Lovely Kiss. So I don't want to go Miltank. I don't want Miltank to sleep at all. It's too important. So I go Skarmory instead, because Lovely Kiss lacks usually, especially with the setup move here in Curse, doesn't run coverage for Skarm. And if it does run coverage, it usually lacks the setup needed to break through Miltank. Sorry, been a bit sick recently. Anyway, he switched out directly, not showing. I decided to Will One right away. I'll go back one turn. Decided to Will One right away just in case it would show a fire coverage, and like I can take it at full, and then I know his moveset would be Curse, Fire, Fire move, usually Fire Blast, normal move, and then probably Rest. So like I would know that I need a Miltank to check it later and not Skarmory. But he decided to switch out anyway, so I guess he's kind of blocked by Skarmory. I roll in Tyranitar, get some leftovers, but once again, as expected, this team aimed to play long games, just chipping at the opponent and sweeping later. Anyway, I get in this position Raikou and Zapdos. He's trying to fire off Thunder so he can pressure my Raikou by getting a paralysis or forcing me to sleep. But it didn't hit. My Thunder hit this time, but didn't get the paralysis against Snorlax. Not a big problem. Goes Skarmory. Once again, it's the same process as earlier. As long as my Skarmory is Dulcie, I don't mind going on Lax. Even if I take a fire move, I can take it from full, and I just want to know what his moveset. So far it showed Curse and Body Slam. At this point I expected I'm expecting probably Lovely Kiss and Rest. We'll see. So I drew a pack. I'm just getting damage at this point. I don't care what he stands in, because everything he showed so far is kept in check well by my team. Nidoking and Tyranitar are both controlled by Miltank. Fortress has trouble dealing with Starmie. Raikou by Zapdos by Raikou, and Snorlax could be the one breaking my team, but I have Skarmory. That's why I'm still checking this set to know if I need to check it with Miltank or Skarmory, depending on his full moveset. So I just keep shaping at his team, getting some percentages on Fortress. He goes for spikes. I spin them right away. I don't want him to get to pressure me with spikes, so I just spin them. He goes to Snorlax to abuse the Starmie. He curses, so he still showed only Curse and Body Slam. And my Skarmory is getting a bit low, like, by low, I mean, it's getting in Fire Blast range, should he have it, but we still don't know. I just mentioned that he has Tyranitar, and usually people run Tyranitar with Snorlax, like they will have Pursuit Tyranitar to get rid of the Ghost. which means the Snorlax won't have Earthquake. So at this point it probably has a fire move, because like, well, they have pursuit support from the Snorlax, Charizard, sorry. So it probably has either a fire move, Sleep Talk, which I doubt with Body Slam, or Lovely Kiss. Lovely Kiss would make a lot of sense since he has Teeth Nidoking. So he's pressuring me a little bit, he expected Starmie, went to Zapdos. I just go to Raikou instead. He, like I said earlier, is fishing a little bit, trying to get Paralysis on Raikou and forcing my hand. I'm trying to get Chip on Zapdos, but I miss here. He gets Thunder off. My Raikou can still come on 2 Thunder, so I don't feel like I need to rest yet. Fire off Hidden Power just in case he would go Nidoking, but he went to Snorlax instead. I went Miltank here. I'm trying to check. Yeah, maybe in retrospect it wasn't the best move, just in case he decided to fire off a Lovely Kiss on the. But yeah, it worked out for me, I guess. So he got Nidoking on the Miltank, and like I said earlier, like he still didn't show his sleeping move. It could still be Lovely Kiss Nidoking. So once again, don't want to take the sleep on Miltank. And yeah, and that's why I went Snorlax like I did earlier. So here I use Earthquake because I wanted to, like, if he stayed in and went for the Lovely Kiss, like if he missed I get some good damage, if he goes Charizard I get good damage, and if he goes Fortress I get some damage, but in retrospect that's not a good idea, because what I need on with that team is not damage, like unless I hit Charizard, but it wouldn't go Charizard anyway. At this point, what I need for this team is Paralysis, so I should just spam Body Slam. Earthquake in retrospect isn't that good of a move. Because at those, I try to get a Paralysis and I get it, and then I rest because I'm getting a bit low and I don't have leftovers, so I need to be able to switch on Nidoking later, and that's why I rested here. So we Sleep Talk with Zapdos. Gets a Hidden Power, I Thunder once, getting some nice chunk of damage, but he is gonna wake up next turn, so it's no problem. I think at this point I rested. No, I Hidden Power first. Okay, just for Nidoking, yeah. Because with leftovers I can still come on 2 Thunder, so it's not a problem. I go on Skarmory. Yeah, it's kind of a stalemate at this point. We are both blocked by each other. Like I said earlier, he has trouble breaking me, and me not having spikes, or like I have troubles too, but on the long run I know that what I get is gonna stick, because it doesn't have a Beeler, and some of his Pokemons don't have rest, like Tyranitar, Nidoking, or Fortress. So if I start getting chips, or most importantly status, when I get the status, I can form a game plan offensively later with Marowak. While on the other end, everything he gets on me, I can just rest it off and heal better with a Miltank. So that's why I don't mind playing the slow game for now. Although this Snorlax could still be a problem, and my throat is killing me. So I got Miltank here and heal bed to remove the paralysis from Skarmory, and most importantly the sleep from Snorlax. He goes for a Dress to get the spikes. I just Rapid Spin. We've been here for a while now, so okay. I just go to my designated counter, a Thunder. I can't switch in on Thunder anymore, just because like if he gets a paralysis on the switch, he can kill me. So I want to rest now. He goes Nidoking to abuse me. Good from him. I went Snorlax, like I said, I don't want to take the sleep on Miltank. And here, okay, so I explain here. I think I was in the wrong mindset. Okay, I just show what happened first. So I belly drum here, I 0 Earthquake, and I'm at 7%. And you could say it's bad, and it is. And my reasoning at the time was that it was still a stalemate. As you could see, nothing much was happening. And I was still kind of fearing the Snorlax because it didn't show a fire move, and it could be a fire variant with Tyranitar. And Fire Lax can be annoying because like if it paralyzes Miltank, like if it shows Fire Blast, I need to check the Snorlax with Miltank. And Miltank can be hacked by Body Slam paralysis. Like if he paralyzes the Miltank and then go for crit or full paralysis, it can be annoying. So I didn't want to play too defensively, because on the long run I feel like I could get axed. So I just wanted to take the initiative, and I felt like, well, he has Nidoking against Snorlax. I don't think he's gonna stay in to get damage. He's probably gonna go for Ultras to get the spikes. So I felt like belly drumming to put some pressure on him. And like if I can weaken for Ultras enough or something, I felt like it was a good shot. But he just stayed in, Earthquake, and now I belly drum for literally nothing. And I'm at 7% without leftovers. So yeah, not a good move in retrospect at all. And like I said earlier, like I said it while watching the game, but it didn't really come to mind when I was playing, that I should just take the defensive approach and just spam Body Slam with Snorlax as much as I can to get cheap on everything, and then try something with Marowak. But yeah. Anyway, mistakes can be reparated. Even if I'm at 7%, I know that I can rest on something I paralyzed with my other Pokemons. So, I mean, I can reparate it. It's not ideal though. Now I have to go, like, it'll show later why it was annoying, because now I have to check Nidoking with Miltank. Anyway, I go Miltank here, doubling to Raikou on the expected Zapdos, but he went for a Trace instead. I don't want to roll, I don't want him to keep the spike, so I just go Stormy once again and spin. And he decides here to boom. So I'll go over it real quick. Not a bad trade for me, because he booms as I spin, so like I lose Tommy, but I don't need Tommy to check anything on this team defensively. Well, unless his Lax turns out to be Machamp, then it could be kind of a problem. But I feel like I can still play around Machamp with Skarmory, and like, yeah. And that's why I decided to, like, I feel like this trade was worth getting, because that means now, like, I liked it because not only do I know he won't get spikes later, so Snorlax can still rest at some point, but also I like the fact that without full rest, I can actually pressure his team with first Snorlax. Like if I manage to get a rest off, I know I can pressure with Snorlax. And like I didn't want to go in with Marowak earlier, because he could just always go on Fortress against Marowak and 3-turn a boom. And I really felt like I needed Marowak to break through his team, more than Snorlax, especially since I lost the leftovers. So we trade here, not a big deal for me. He goes I was expecting Tyranitar, I think it matched up well against everything I had, so that's why I went Miltank. And I can heal Bell the Raikou sleep. He goes for Crunch here, I don't know, probably fished for a speed up drop. Crunch is not really common on Tyranitar, especially since he showed Pursuit in Roar, so it means he doesn't have Fire Blast or he doesn't have Rock Slide. So either it doesn't 3-turn Snorlax or either it doesn't 3-turn Skarmory. Anyway, now I'm just fishing for status, and I really want to paralyze this Tyranitar in particular, because if Tyranitar is paralyzed, I can rest on it with Snorlax if I double or sax, like if I lose a Pokemon against Tyranitar, or if I double on it at some point, I can rest with Snorlax, which would give me a really big advantage now. So I'm mainly doing here to protect myself from a crit. He crunch again, probably fishing for a spell up drop. I just keep body slamming to get the paralysis. Still not getting it. He gets a crit. The same turn as I do, except this is a bit better. He doesn't ever go to Zapdos. I like to pressure me. And here he went to Snorlax. So we still haven't seen his his sleep move, sorry, if he has it. So I rest here because I rest here just in case he would show his fire move, because we still don't know what he has. He shows Body Slam, and yeah, kind of a stalemate again. But like I said, that's the plan of this team, just taking it slow. Although Snorlax is kind of out of commission for now, it cannot add much. Here, I went to my Miltank on Tarita because I don't have much to fear from him and I can try to spread paralysis with Body Slam. He decided to roar instead. I think roar was a good play for him because he wanted to get Snorlax, and if he got Snorlax he could trap it with Pursuit because I don't have enough turtles. But too bad for him, he rolled in Marowak, and Marowak is a free time on Charita, so I decided to Sword Dance. The reason why I went for Sword Dance is that I know he's not gonna stay in, and if he goes to Zapdos I can get the one shot with Rock Slide, and if he goes to Snorlax I get the one shot with Earthquake too. He would need to switch on the water last to threaten me, but he did not. And even if he went to water I could just go Raikou afterwards, so that's not a problem. I Sword Dance, he goes Raikou, and I Rock Slide here. Okay, so I'm just gonna explain now what's my thought on the game. Here, I feel very confident. I feel like I have a very good shot. The reason why is that even though Marowak took some damages, it's not a problem. I can rest on a few of his Pokemon. I think I can rest on Nidoking because Ice Beam doesn't kill at this point. I can rest on Charizard, I can rest on Snorlax. If I rest I just heal later and I go ahead. And now that he doesn't have Marowak anymore, Zapdos anymore, he has trouble pressuring Miltank, and he doesn't have any good Earthquake switch from now on. So if I I don't even need to boost with Marowak to just fire off Earthquake and do good damages. So now I really like my position. Even if my Pokemon are kind of weakened, like I said earlier, it's not a problem. They all can heal at some point anyway. He shows his last here, and he shows its Vaporeon. Not too much of a big deal because I have Raikou, and like I said earlier in the team building description, I have Sleep Talk anyway, so he cannot really even pressure Raikou too much with Vaporeon because I have Sleep Talk. He makes a good play here. He doubles on my Raikou to keep the momentum. It doesn't give me too much leeway. I go to Skarmory on the Snorlax. Like I said, I'm still waiting to see what's his last move here. Probably Lovely Kiss, but yeah, just waiting. So he curses, and now he finally shows Lovely Kiss. I decided to go for Whirlwind directly because if he if I woke up and didn't use a Whirlwind, I would act against him. I would act first, and if he decided to Lovely Kiss me as I wake up, I have 0 turn asleep and he is at +1 already, so it can be sort of troublesome. So here he shows Lovely Kiss, and now that I know he has Lovely Kiss, Curse, Body Slam, I know his last move is gonna be Rest. Like Lovely Kiss without Rest is very rare. So now I know my position is amazing because he has Vaporeon, which cannot beat Raikou, especially with Sleep Talk. He has Snorlax, which cannot beat Skarmory. He has Tyranitar, which cannot beat Miltank. He has Nidoking, which cannot beat Miltank either. And on my hand, if I manage to rest with Snorlax, I have Snorlax which can very much trouble him, put him in trouble. And I have Marowak who can just fire off Earthquake against his team. And what I really like too is that Marowak at full can take a move from anything. So if I Sword Dance, I can even stay in as he switches to Vaporeon, for example, and just Earthquake, and I'll get the kill while it doesn't kill me, and I can just rest a little bit later and go back at it with Marowak again, and just win. Like even if it's a long game, I know I'll win long term. So yeah, I'm really liking my position at this point. He goes Nidoking here, and is it the turn? Yeah. Oh no. Okay. So he goes Vaporeon. Let me check what happened again. Okay, I rolled in. He doubled on the Raikou. He went Nidoking. I went Miltank. What did I do against for Miltank? I think I just went Miltank because it's my check and I want to spread paralysis with Body Slam. Yeah. And I finally get it against Tyranitar. So now that I get the paralysis against Tyranitar, it's even better. Like my position is getting better and better because now I can even rest with Snorlax on it if I catch a double or something. I go Raikou. I don't have much to fear from a Tyranitar who shows the Crunch, Roar, and Pursuit anyway. I go Marowak here. I'm doubling on the Marowak because by going Raikou I was expecting Nidoking or Snorlax. And against Nidoking I can just take an Ice Beam and kill with Earthquake or Rest. I would just want to heal Marowak at this point. I get Snorlax instead, and I rest off the damages because I want Marowak at full so he can take a hit from anything and retaliate later. He goes for Lovely Kiss and doesn't even get any damage, so yeah. He double expecting the Skarmory, he goes on Vaporeon. I go Raikou, he serves. As you can see, it doesn't do much. Here, I think I could have been a bit aggressive and doubled to Snorlax because he wasn't gonna stay in on Raikou. Could have doubled, not Snorlax, on Miltank, so I could fire off on the die. And here, you get Nidoking on the Raikou, and now I'm like, okay, so he got Nidoking on the Raikou. I know I'm gonna be able to control with Miltank, but what I have to take care of is, like, I've seen this scenario load when people like in Bomber's position are blocked off options. They have a way to Nidoking by just getting a freeze on Miltank, and then they can win. And like, I don't want the game to draw for too long, because if I just play too passive, I know that he'll even, like, if he gets a freeze on a Miltank, I lose, because Marowak, like, I'm just gonna, I don't really lose, but like, I'm gonna be in a very bad position. So yeah, I just have to be, at the turn 72, when there is this scenario of Raikou against Nidoking, the realization comes to mind that I need to not be too passive against Nidoking starting from there, and I need to be aggressive with Marowak and take the game. But at this point, I have no other option. I go to Miltank because I want to get the heal bell off and wake up Marowak. Marowak is my win condition anyway. So I go Miltank, and on the first Ice Beam, like, on the first Ice Beam try, he get the freeze. And it's terrible in this position because, like, I knew it would be his win condition. At this point, he has to go for it, as it's normal. I did it against Mr. 378 and he bailed me out. And, like, I know he was going for it, but, like, I had no other options on this turn. And like, even if he got it eventually, just let me heal bell, dude. Just let me wake up Marowak so I can sort of stay in the game. But getting the freeze here totally kills my chances because, well, Skarmory can't do anything against Nidoking. Raikou obviously loses, and Marowak has 2 turns to sleep, so it can't even do anything, can't even attempt anything. So that was the worst time possible to freeze. I'm staying on the field because that's how GSC work. You can throw, you have a 20% chance or 10% chance, I don't remember, to throw at the end of the turn. So I'm staying, but it doesn't work. I go Nidoking, just trying some cute plays like, what do I even try? I think I try to Whirlwind. Yeah, I think I try to Whirlwind because if I can Whirlwind to something like, I don't know, Tyranitar, I can go back to Miltank and attempt to freeze at the end of the turn because, like, you can switch and throw this way, but yeah, full power this, full power, and now the game is getting really out of control. And it's funny because as soon as I got all my tiny advantages little by little by like trading Starmie for Choice, finally killing the Marowak, the Zapdos, managing to heal the Marowak, as soon as I got in a really comfortable position, it all went to shit on the turn 73 when he got the freeze. So now I'm just going for luck, I'm just going for the crit with Hidden Power, but he got the absolute max, like Hero's Quick and gets the max roll. I calculate it's max roll, but it doesn't change much anyway, because if I don't crit, I can't do anything. So he killed me. I'm going Miltank, hoping to thaw out, but I know at this point without Raikou I'm gonna lose to Vaporeon anyway, so it's hopeless. I don't thaw, so I'm just trying to heal Miltank whatsoever, but I lose to Vaporeon anyway. And yeah, there goes the game. Nidoking just cleans. And yeah, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate, although I cannot complain much after I got even worse against Mr. 378 in the final of SPL. I was in a similar situation where couldn't break a dude's team and I got freeze to bail me out. and I got them instantly too, and it's the same here. And yeah, that's how I lost my first game. I wasn't too mad, I guess, because like I've told some of my friends before, I don't really mind losing to Axe as long as I know I played better. Like if I know I was in a good position and felt satisfied with my play, I can control Axe anyway, so there is no reason to get mad at it. Like, it's annoying for sure, but it's not too infuriating. I get a lot more annoyed at myself and at the game when I choke, for example, because that was in my control and I blew it. But in this case, I can control Axe and I lost this way. So yeah, it's annoying, but it could be worse. I think going over the game, I thought about this game a lot afterwards, like trying to pinpoint the reason why I lost, outside of the freeze, trying to think of what I could have done better. And the first thing I could have prevented was the body drum with Snorlax. Like I said when I was watching the replay, I should have just not drum and keep using body slam until I get paralysis and keep building my advantage. Also, when you think about it, if I didn't body drum, I could have kept my Snorlax healthy and just go against Nidoking with Snorlax and avoid the freeze with the Miltank. So yeah, I think also the other play I could have tried was on the turn he froze. It was the turn 72. At this point, when I have when he serves the Raikou, I should have like, I knew he wasn't gonna stay in. Well, like it doesn't make sense for him to stay in, and he can only go Snorlax or Nidoking. And I should have taken this opportunity to double to Miltank and get the heal bell off Morag. But like it's a little detail in retrospect, and I don't know if it would have changed much anyway, because if he gets the first turn freeze again, he gets in a good position. But yeah, he got the freeze at the worst turn. I think I didn't play perfectly, obviously, because the misplay with Snorlax was there. But outside of that, I don't think I did too much misplay. Maybe played a bit too safe, but like I said, like I very distinctly remember during the game that I wasn't gonna play too safe. Like starting turn 72, when he gets Nidoking here on the field, I distinctly remember thinking, okay, he can get the freeze with Ice Beam sooner or later, so I just not have to play too passive. And I wasn't gonna do it, but the freeze came too early. It was impossible to come back from there. I played very methodically, as I think you usually do with those kind of defensive teams. And I think it would have paid off, definitely. Like the fact that Marowak was getting better and better. And like when you think about it, sometimes you have game-winning freezes. Like imagine you have Nidoking against Umbreon. Like you cannot break through Umbreon, but you can fish for a freeze, and you don't have much to lose because Umbreon cannot really 3-turn Nidoking anyway. Pursuit doesn't do anything, and that's the only offensive move Umbreon can do. But here, with Miltank, like Nidoking doesn't even have a easy time fishing for a freeze because Miltank is faster and it can 3-turn the Nidoking with a paralysis from Body Slam. And if I get the paralysis against Nidoking, it's really big because now I outspeed with Marowak and Snorlax. So like he can't even afford to stay on Miltank and fish for freeze as much as he would because I can just Body Slam. But sadly, didn't get any chance to do that, and yeah, I think I've said everything I could have said about this game by now. So I just end the video. I think kind of disappointing to lose my first game, but I felt overall confident with my preparation, my plays too. So didn't feel too down about this loss. And yeah, I'll upload the second game not too long, probably this week, maybe tomorrow, I don't know yet. And yeah, I have some other projects for YouTube after the World Cup games, but won't talk about them for now. You'll see anyway. If they come to fruition, they'll be uploaded anyway. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you have any suggestions or want me to talk about something in particular, once again, feel free to tell me in the comment or on McMeghan or on Discord, and I'll consider it. And hope you enjoyed this video, and see you soon, guys.